Let's talk about it. Let's talk right about it. Early meat and potatoes. Early meat and potatoes. We're not going to play around with it today. Early meat and potatoes. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Simple. It's as simple as that. Simple. You got Cowboys fans in the comment section. Let me put this up here. Let me put this up here for y'all. Saying we a dumpster fire. My guy, I'm on the gram getting prepared for this. I look at my guy, the entertainer. We're laughing stock. They're laughing. That's the statue outside the link of a Super Bowl winning coach who just got fired today. If you've been living under a rock, if you don't know, Doug Pederson was fired. Fired as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. We don't have a coach, ladies and gentlemen. And didn't I tell y'all this last week? I said I got a strong feeling that Doug Pederson is going to get fired. A strong feeling. I said it last week. I said, hey, thank you for the donation, champ. I said last week that this was going to happen. A lot of people running around here saying the Eagles too hard to predict. Not to me. Not to me. We're going to get into why Howie Roseman is probably safe in this scenario. We're going to get into why Doug Pederson was most likely fired and why Doug Pederson wanted to go. This is how I believe it happened. I don't even believe he was fired. I believe it was a mutual decision because Doug Pederson is tired of people telling him what to do. Tired of people telling him what to do. Now, I don't know about any of you guys if you ever worked a job or whatever, but having somebody micromanage you at a job is very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. LB, how attractive is the Eagles job? That's a good, Kirsten. That's a great question, Kirsten. That's an amazing question. I think it's at the top now. I think the Eagles job is at the top of the list now. The Eagles job is at the top of the list. The Eagles got the most attractive coaching destination is at the top of the list. But I tell you what, any new coach coming in, Bashir, any new coach coming in, they're not going to want to just stand for Howie Roseman calling as many shots as he caused. They're not going to want to stand for that. Dylan, thank you for the donation, bro. Trade Jalen Hurts, get Wentz the number one receiver. They not going to want to stand for it. They're not going to want to stand for it. It's basic mathematics. I'm going to tell you why the Eagles head coaching job is the most attractive in my opinion. Because you literally have to come in as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach and pick your own staff. There's nothing there for you to go off. There's nothing there for you to go off. You got to literally pick your own staff. Literally, you got to pick your own staff. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something real quick, Eagles Nation. I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. We talked about the clapper a lot. Remember Jason Garrett? We talked about the clapper. We talked bad about the clapper for them years. Don't be surprised if they ring in the clapper line. Don't be surprised if they ring in the clapper line. The clapper don't want to call plays. The clapper just want to clap. Do not be surprised if they ring in the clapper line. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be surprised if Jason Garrett is getting an interview. But what you better do is you better go grab you an Eric Bieniemy right now. Right now, give Eric Bieniemy a phone call. Right now, give Eric Bieniemy a phone call. I watched the Colts game this week. Y'all know Uncle Leroy, a big Colts fan. He was talking trash about the Eagles all year. Talking trash about the Eagles all year, how bad we was, this, that, and the third. I single-handedly watched that Colts game and really had a hard time trying to decipher who was coaching the Colts. I didn't know if it was Doug Pederson or Frank Wright. Poor coaching is the reason why the Colts lost that playoff game. Do you know how many games this season that just passed, I believe we lost due to poor coaching? Everybody wanted me to blame Carson Wentz so bad. I told y'all this. I also said this. I said the Philadelphia Eagles will always pick Carson Wentz over Doug Pederson. They will pick Carson Wentz over Doug Pederson every time. They just made their decision. They just made their decision. Jeffrey Lurie got Jeffrey, and I'm talking about Frank Reich to say this. I'm talking about Frank Reich to say this. Frank Reich and Doug Pederson were basically identical. Those type of habits to go for it and wear it fourth downs and to just do weird stuff like come on. It's two things. I can't remember the exact two play calls that Frank Reich made, but it was two pathetic play calls that I think turned the game around for the opposition, and that's why the coach lost. It's two bad play calls. And these are the type of plays that Doug Pederson make all the time. Listen, Doug Pederson was tired of people telling him what to do, but Doug Pederson in no way, shape, form, or fashion is innocent. Is innocent. Rebuilding off this magnitude is shell-shocking to me right now. The move kind of slapped my mind. It didn't, because I said last week that Doug Pederson was going to get fired. I said it because I'm going to tell you why. I'm looking at things from a different perspective. Everybody is saying a good coach is hard to find. Why would you fire your head coach? Your head coach won you a Super Bowl. Everybody is saying the same thing, but I'm here to tell you this about this situation. How many weeks in a row did Doug Pederson abandon the run? How many weeks in a row? Doug Pederson was setting himself up this season to be fired. Now you can talk about people telling you what to do and all this in the third. You can talk about you being tired of that. But what about playing better situational football? What about knowing that you can't control certain moves people make, but you can control to give Miles Sanders the ball, who was one of the best in the league, in yards per attempt? You can control increasing his workload. You can control playing some of these younger dudes or calling their number earlier. You could control. You're a former quarterback, Doug. You could control being harsher on Carson Wentz and making sure he works on his mechanics. You could control that. Nobody's safe with this move. This move gives me more confidence, though, that they're leaning towards getting a staff around Carson Wentz and fixing Carson Wentz. Because I'll tell you this. If Carson Wentz mechanics get fixed with the 6th pick, and you could add Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase, you looking different. You're looking real different, because there's a lot of execs that believe in Carson Wentz. I'm telling you. The Philadelphia Eagles now have the most attractive coaching situation. Period. Give me another dude going into a 6-year with numbers like Wentz. One bad season ain't going to scare no coach away from that. And you get the opportunity to bring in your own D coordinator. Listen, and this is another reason why I believe that, you know what I'm saying, he was fired. And I'm talking about Doug Pederson. It's another reason why I believe it. I believe Doug Pederson was fired because look at what he brought to the menu. Look at what Doug Pederson brought to the menu. Did y'all hear his proposed plan? His proposed plan was to promote Press Taylor. We don't want that. Go out there and get somebody, man, to call plays, because you ain't doing it right. Promote a yes man that's going to do what you say anyway. We don't want that. We needed somebody to come in there, call plays, and that was going to challenge Doug. These dudes went out there and got Marty Morningweg. And with the other dude. Come on, bruh. If you Jeff Lurie, think about it like this, and you got your own business. Think about it like that. You got dudes sitting around collecting a paycheck and not doing nothing, but you signing these checks. Ask your favorite YouTuber that question. Any YouTuber on my level or above, it's a business. It's a business at this point. It's certain things you put into it and certain things you get out of it. So I know YouTubers that hire people to do stuff like they mailing and stuff like that. I've done it. So if I'm hiring somebody to do something and they're not doing it, only coaching staff to come back last year. You hear me? Only coaching staff to come back last year and win 4 games. Listen, man, Doug not guilty or innocent. Doug put himself in a situation to where his career could be in limbo. You know what I'm saying? Put himself in a situation to where his career could be in limbo. A lot of people gonna disagree with this move. And listen, I'm gonna keep it tall with you. Does Deuce Staley get an interview? No. Deuce Staley don't get an interview. I'm gonna tell you why Deuce might not get an interview. Deuce might not get an interview because Deuce has been doing his job really, really well. They might like to keep Deuce there. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for your donation, Fred. They might like to keep Deuce there. Now, I think Deuce should throw it, you know what I mean? I think they should heavily consider it, because if Deuce was calling the plays last year, what would we call more of? Run plays. He's a running back coach. He know what he got in Miles. Come on, man. Frank Wright. Frank Wright what? Frank Wright looked like Doug Pederson, man. Frank Wright looked like a son of Doug. Frank Wright what? Eric Bieniemy or get a yes man, period. I don't want nobody. Eric Bieniemy or go get the clapper. Go get Jason Garrett. Eric Bieniemy or Jason Garrett. Now we're gonna talk about Howie Roseman. Why do y'all think Howie Roseman gonna stay? I think Howie gone. I think Howie gone. You want Ron Rivera? Ron Rivera just won a division. Let's be real. He ain't gonna be available. He ain't gonna be available. Now if you can't get the listen, Jason Garrett as your offensive coordinator, but Jason Garrett is a head coach, man. And this is what I mean by head coaches and micromanagers. Doug Pederson didn't like being micromanaged, but he was a hell of a micromanager. A hell of a micromanager. In no universe, I've been saying this all season, bro. In no universe at all do you call the amount of pass plays we called with the offensive line changes we've had. You don't do it. He set himself up to be fired. The statue outside the stadium, they need to... It's crazy, man. It's crazy. When you put a statue outside of a stadium for a guy, he's supposed to finish his career there. Doug deserved the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to even lie to you. Won his first Super Bowl. Won us our first bowl. Got us to the chip. He deserved this season. Pittsburgh gave Mike Tomlin one. You don't do this to nobody that you put a statue outside the stadium in front of. You don't do it. You don't do it. A shame. It's a sad day, and it lets me know who really might be the guy walking around here, who really might be the weasel. It lets me know. It lets me know point blank, period, that Howie Roseman is just, he got his hands in the pot too much. Got his hands in the pot too much. Howie Roseman should have been fired before Doug Pederson. But this is the reason why. Football is a business, man. I'm going to tell you why it ain't happening in a second. But y'all got to understand the business side of this, man. It's a business. Obviously, Jeffrey Lurie is one of those guys who want to hear your plans and how you're going to fix this before he make a decision on if he's going to keep you or not. Y'all know Gate City Sports. Y'all know Gate City Sports. Gate City Sports got a video out on a cap situation with the Philadelphia Eagles. It should be a 15 million view video. I went on that video and I commented, it should be a 15 million view video. He describes in its totality what Howie Roseman is doing to fix this cap situation. If he, a guy who never spoke to Howie Roseman a day in his life, can tell you what he's going to do, and it makes sense, that means Howie could formulate a plan 3 times better and present it to his boss. If y'all think we're going to go into this season with extremely, extremely bad cap, you bugging. That's going to get fixed. Some of these contracts are so in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles, the way that they're just written out. It's going to help us get out of the cap situation, period. I want either DeBall or Smith as head coach. Both have done a great job building up their QBs into top 12 passers. I agree. You got to listen. The next head coach got to be somebody who was significant in these playoffs as a coach. Period. Significant. The Bills play. Listen, whoever was around Josh Allen, whoever's available, we need to go look at. Because look at the way Josh Allen has developed and progressed. They used to laugh at his mechanics. Now he just knocked somebody on their head on out the playoffs this weekend. They used to laugh at his mechanics. You know what I mean? Don't think Wentz will be going anywhere now. No, I don't think Wentz will be going anywhere now because any head coach would revel at the opportunity to get Carson Wentz. Any head coach would love to be the one to say, I'm the one that got him back on this game. Jalen Hurts might be out of here for picks. That's how it looked to me. Jalen Hurts might be out of here for picks. You gotta listen. I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I would get Eric Bieniemy, and I would give Eric Bieniemy the pleasure of the same role Doug was in. Eric Bieniemy will be the head coach and the play caller. That's how the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be able to smooth it over for Eric Bieniemy. You will be the head coach and the play caller. If anybody deserves a role like that, it's Eric Bieniemy. Andy Reid don't call all them plays in KC. That's how I smooth it over to get Eric Bieniemy. I want the OC from the Bills or Chiefs as head coach. Eric Bieniemy. He the one. How we had this all planned out. Listen. Howie didn't spend this season doing anything to help us win. He spent the season, in my opinion, formulating how he can get us out of this. Howie isn't a GM. Howie is a capologist. Howie is a salary cap guru. That's been proven. The business will keep the guy who can save the money. Keeping Carson Wentz saves you money because if you decide to go with Jalen Hurts in 2 or 3 years when it's time to extend them, Carson Wentz's current contract will look like a figment of the past. It already does. Watson getting 40 M's, won 4 games. Lamar about to get a bag this offseason, bruh. Lamar about to get way more than Carson getting per year. Jeffrey Lurie kept a man who knew how to save the money. Wasn't about winning anymore. He kept a man that knew how to save the money. Period. And keeping Carson Wentz saves money. This is what I don't understand, man. Y'all listen to these dudes who tell y'all got a $28 million quarterback on the bench. Carson going to be starting somewhere, whether it's for the Eagles or for somebody else next year. Period. That's the facts. And at the current price that Carson Wentz is getting paid, it is a bargain, bruh. NFL quarterback contracts go up. It's a bargain. 3 straight trips to the playoffs. I don't think Doug should have been fired. That's just facts. I don't think he should have been fired. That's how I know it's deeper than football over here, man. It's deeper than football over here, man. We got 1,300 people in here, man. This is breaking news. Doug Pederson was just fired, no longer the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out my guy OGR. You know what I'm saying? When you abandon the run, when you have a team that has to run, because wide receivers can't separate, because you're getting so many pre-snap penalties, you keep finding yourself in these 3rd and longs. Your offensive line is just trash. When you abandon the run, you set yourself up like this. Period. Abandon the run, the lack of screen passes, benching Carson Wentz, you set yourself up for this, man. Even though I believe Carson deserved to be benching, but some of the play calling and situational football, we're not going to act like it wasn't some of the worst we ever seen in our lives. We're not going to do that. Doug Pederson is not guilty nor innocent. I can't blame or accept what Jeffrey Lurie decided to do. I am completely 50-50 with this decision. Had you brung Doug back, I wouldn't be mad. But to see my team and my owner not just going to sit down and lay down, I'm excited for next season now. Change is going to come, just like Barack said. You'll be the man of the house, my pop said. They changing it up. They are changing it up. They're about to put an army around Carson Wentz, get this mechanic situation figured out. They changing it up. Sal Powell for head coach. No. You got to get Dan Orlovsky in there as quarterback coach. Press Taylor can kick rocks, bro. He's probably going to be gone in the next couple of days. You got to get Dan Orlovsky in there. You got to get Eric Bieniemy in there. And you got to get you a defensive coordinator who's going to do the opposite. The opposite. The opposite of what Jim Schwartz did. Come on, man. The team is trash. Jim, they knew what it was, bro. Your defensive coordinator dipped right before your coach get a boot. Huh? You really think Wentz is salvageable, man? We the only ones that don't. The Eagles the only ones that don't think he's salvageable. Tripping. Dan Quinn, no. I don't want nobody from the Falcons organization coming over to my team, period. Man, them dudes blow leads every week. Don't bring that energy over here. Don't bring that energy over here. You ain't got no head coach. You better take the best available player with the 6th pick. Ain't no trading back now. I don't care if you get that linebacker. You go ahead and get you a franchise cornerstone. You go get you a franchise cornerstone with that 6th pick. Wade Phillips, no. I don't want Wade Phillips near me. Wade Phillips is buns. I don't want them dudes near me. Now, we ain't just accepting no slop. We not. It got to be Eric Bieniemy. It got to be Eric Bieniemy. It got to be Eric Bieniemy. 49ers DC and Eric Bieniemy. No, the 49ers defensive coordinator can be a head coach as well, though. Defensive-minded guy. I like that dude. Bill Belichick, come on, man. That don't make sense. Adam Gase, stop playing with me. But it went down today, y'all. It went down today, man. And we got a lot of videos that's coming up now. Now we got to start thinking about our future. Now we got to start thinking about who's going to command these troops. Crazy. Crazy times. Crazy times we living in to where a guy can have a statue outside the facility from an iconic play being called to being out of a job after one really bad season. After one really bad season, 3 straight trips to the playoffs. What really happened? What really happened inside the walls on Broad Street, NovaCare Complex, wherever these dudes meet? What really happened? Marvin Lewis, no. Eric Bieniemy or bust. What if Pittsburgh fired Tomlin? Then you go get Mike Tomlin. This is what you do. You take Mike Tomlin out to dinner. Yeah, brother, he probably like barbecue. Yeah, I take Mike Tomlin to a night. I don't take Mike Tomlin to a barbecue spot. I take Mike Tomlin to a spot that got barbecue. You hear me? I take Mike Tomlin to a spot that got barbecue. Listen, it could be an Italian spot. If you like Italian and the chef be like, you want some ribs too? It's nothing. I take Mike Tomlin there. Then when Mike Tomlin leave, yeah, Rolls Royce out front. Yeah. The Rolls out front for you, Mike. It's yours, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. This yours. It's yours. It's tag paperwork. This you, Mike. This you. He gonna know what it is. He eagle after that. Basically, I give Mike Tomlin whatever he desire. Whatever he desire. Eric B. or the Niners DC, I agree. Bars. Longhorn Steakhouse. Come on, bro. You thinking, come on, bro. You don't take Mike Tomlin to no chain steakhouse. You take Mike Tomlin to the Prime Rib. Yeah. Tomlin does have Philly attitude, I agree. But listen, we can't start speculating, though. I'm not going to speculate this offseason. Mike Tomlin is not available. I'm looking at dudes right now who are interviewing. Eric Bieniemy got a decision to make because Eric Bieniemy going to take that Philly interview. Eric Bieniemy going to take that Philly interview, man. Man, this offseason is getting crazier and crazier, man. Thank you all for your continued support. Official video coming later. I got to talk about the available guys for these vacancies we got, man. Because listen, man, it's getting wild. It's getting wild. It's getting wild. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. I told y'all that the offseason was going to be bumpy. This is the first bump. Josh McCown for quarterback coach. I like that. I told y'all the offseason was going to be bumpy. We knew this already, though, Eagles Nation. We knew what we were in for. We knew. Look, Twitter going stupid. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at @Lore_Brunson. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at @Lore_Brunson. As I get information, you will get information. It's just going down, man. It's going down, man. Doug Pederson out as the Philadelphia head coach. We got a lot of decisions to make. I think this, like I said, I think this cements Carson Wentz being brought back with some help around him. And I look forward to the offseason. I look forward to the rest of the offseason already. I do. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Official video coming later.